There are many countries that are offering opportunities for international nurses and midwives to actually migrate into their country and continue their practice as registered nurses and midwives. Of course, we can be looking at UK, Canada, US, Australia, Ireland, and the others. But the question is it worth migrating at all? So I will be focusing more on Ireland because this is where I live and practice as a nurse. So the question is it worth migrating to Ireland as a registered nurse or midwife? I know some might have asked themselves before going through the process, or before it might not even have thought about this question, because the goal is to move from wherever country that they are to find themselves in Ireland and continue their practice, earn good money, enjoy the best of their lives and all that. And so this question might have not clicked their mind. So don't worry if you're watching this video, we are all learning together, okay? So this is Nurse Abena. I am a Ghanaian nurse living and practicing in the Republic of Ireland. I am specialized in psychiatric nursing. I make content about nursing in abroad, the migration process, the requirements, the coaching that you need to have a smooth transition from your country to the Irish nursing. This channel got all that relevant information for you. So that's why you need to subscribe, like, comment and share, and grab all the relevant information to guide you through the process. So in today's video, we are looking at, is it worth migrating to Ireland to continue your practice as a registered nurse or midwife? If this topic will interest you, please stick and stay with me. To all my returning subscribers, welcome back to the channel. And if it's your first time coming across my channel, please stick and stay with me. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. This is Nurse Abena. I live and practice in Ireland as a registered psychiatric nurse. So in today's video, just as I have said earlier, is it worth migrating to Ireland to continue your practice as a registered nurse or midwife? So for the few years that I have spent here, I have come to learn about some pros and cons an international nurse in Ireland, and I would like to share with you. It may help you in your decision making. Okay, so we're going to look at some of the pros and cons. Definitely in every country has its advantages and disadvantages. I may not be able to speak for other countries. This video will be limited to Ireland because this is where I am. Maybe later we will look at engaging with other people in other countries, if it's also worth migrating to those countries. So today, let's focus on the Republic of Ireland. Is it worth to migrate to this country and continue your practice as a registered nurse or midwife? So yes, considering some of the pros and cons of migrating to Ireland to continue your practice as a registered nurse or midwife, a lot of factors come into play. So first of all, based on my experience, let's look at some of the advantages. So one advantage is the fact that Ireland will offer you a good salary, for sure. But you tend to enjoy more money if you have acquired more years of experience from your country, because the Irish nursing will not just close the dockets on the years of experience that you have acquired in your country. They actually value that, and so they use your years of experience that you have acquired in your country to actually place you on the salary, on your salary scale. So I would say the salary is good, most especially if you have more years of experience in your country before coming. I mean, there are a lot of premiums that you get to enjoy in Ireland as a registered nurse or midwife. So that is one advantage about it. The other advantage that I may talk about is the fact that you get to obtain your permanent residency after living and working here as a nurse for 2 years, which is good because it's not like that in other countries. Yes, this advantage of practicing in Ireland for 2 years and obtaining your permanent residency, which is popularly known as the stamp 4, is actually a plus for the Irish system, and a big advantage for overseas nurses and midwives, because you don't get to get your permanent residency in just 2 years in other countries. That thing may also have to B, for the fact that registered nurses and midwives stands the chance, a high chances of bringing in their family at any point in time. So there is no timeline. Unlike other places, you may have to live and work for a certain number of years before you can bring in your family. But in Ireland, the rule is you are not restricted as to when you can bring in your family as a registered nurse or midwife. The most important thing is you being able to provide all the necessary documents, family to join you, and the family process is also very smooth. Your spouse and your children don't go through any stressful part of the process. All that matters is submit the required documents, and then it gets to be approved, and then they get to join you. And Ireland, all that. Worth migrating to, we can also look at the fact that food is actually averagely not expensive. Yeah, so I can say that in terms of food is very cheap over here. You are likely to spend more on food if obviously you choose to do more shopping from the African markets. Of course, if you want your local foods, you want your Ghanaian foods, you want your Nigerian food, to know that you may have to always go to the African market, where you're likely to spend more on food. Apart from that, food is relatively less over here, and you wouldn't spend so much on food. Another thing has to do with the fact that if you're a parent, you're coming to Ireland to live and practice as a registered nurse and midwife, and your children gets to join you, there is something we call the child benefit, which is every registered nurse or midwife who has children is entitled to this benefit, and I think it's really good for parents. Another good thing is the fact that parents who happens to have their children not attaining the school going age, so if your child needs to go for crèche, in other places or in other countries, crèche is very expensive to take your child to. But in Ireland, it is good to hear that nurses and midwives, you, based on the permits that you hold, you qualify to apply for certain funds to actually cater for your child's crèche, and you end up not paying anything because you have all the necessary documents to apply for that fund for your child to attend crèche for free, which is good. I mean, there are a lot of benefits to enjoy. You yourself and that of your family will get to enjoy if you migrate to Ireland and continue your practice as a registered nurse or midwife. As much as Ireland is a very beautiful and lovely country, there are some downside of it that personally, per my experience, I don't find it interesting at all. And it may be different with other people though. So in migrating to Ireland as a registered nurse or midwife, maybe you can also look at this. The first thing that I am not happy about is the fact that Ireland is faced with housing crisis. If you have heard it, it's very true. Ireland is faced with housing crisis. It's actually very difficult to acquire a house, or to rent a house. You may have your money at hand, you have your deposit, you have your monthly money to pay, but you don't get it. It's really hard. You have to go through a lot of stress before you can actually get a house of your choice. Okay, so that is one thing, but the truth of the matter is nobody sleeps outside. You definitely get it, but as to when you get it is where the issue comes in. That stress, you can't actually set a time limit for yourself that at this point in time I want to get a house. No, it doesn't work like that because of the crisis, but you definitely get. Okay, so that is one thing that actually doesn't make Ireland interesting. Another downside of Ireland I will talk about is the tax rates. Yeah, you are living and working in Ireland, you have to know something about your income. There is a certain range of amount or salary that will be taxed under 20%, and then if you exceed that amount you'll be taxed at 40%. So as you start work, as you get into the country as a nurse or midwife, know your salary, how much you are earning at the end of the month. It will be stated on your payslip. If you exceed this amount, you'll be taxed at 40%, and if you stay within this amount or this range, you'll be taxed at 20%. So you need to know your limit, and then know the extra hours that you do. Don't be so much interested in doing more extra shifts, because the more the more you are doing picking extra shift, your salary automatically increases, and then that can affect your tax rate. Okay, so that when the money increases and exceeds the 20% amount, obviously you have entered into the 40% rate zone. Get into the country, and then you start work, you will get you get to know of all these. Maybe telling you now, maybe, so it will be too much for you to contain. So when you get into the system, you will actually find your way out. But that's the truth. If you exceed a certain limit, you move into 40%, but if you stay within your limit, you will get the 20%. Okay, so you should be looking at is the health system. Yeah, so in Ireland, healthcare is actually not free. It is actually free for children at a certain age, let's say 0 to 8 years, I think. Yeah, I stand to be corrected. Have a free GP visit and all that, but with adult, you would have to pay for that. And then old age also happen to enjoy free healthcare. But those of us if you are not within these two groups, obviously you have to be making expenses towards your healthcare. And then, so there are a lot of healthcare insurances that you may have to join, and they are quite expensive. Yeah, they're quite expensive, so you need to plan towards that as you are moving into the country as a registered nurse or midwife. You need to make plans, and then if your family joins you, you have to make a plans towards your family's healthcare as well. You pay your GP visits and your medications and all that. Even with the children, with a free GP visit card for medication, you would still pay for it. Yeah, so it's not 100% free. You need to know about that, and I think that is something, if the government could do something about it, it will be more flexible, and it will be more interesting. But it is what it is. I have said in one of my videos that Ireland actually has a temperamental weather. Yes, sometimes very depressing dealing with the nature of their weather. You can never predict the weather, so you always have to be prepared. So far as you're stepping out of your home, you need to prepare for the weather. It can change within a twinkle of an eye. So is the cost of living in Ireland. So the cost of living will actually depend on where you are living. Yes, one thing you should know is that city life is expensive. Yes, living in the city is actually not same as living in the countryside, and obviously if you are living in the city, you should be prepared to spend more. So for cost of living, I would say it depends on where you find yourself, or it depends on where you are living. So where you are living will determine whether your cost of living will be high or less. But generally, I would say that it's kind of on an average scale. If not the fact that Ireland is being faced with housing crisis, I think there wouldn't be that much to talk about with cost of living, because in most cases it is the houses that are quite expensive, very very expensive, because of the crisis. You don't know if landlords are actually making a huge business out of that. So a house that you can actually even get for, let's say, €1,000 per month, but you see landlords giving it to you at about €1,500 per month, 1,700, which is, it's really a headache. So just as I said, the cost of living will actually depend on where you are staying or where you are residing. If you are residing in the city, obviously your cost of living will be high, but if you are living in the countryside, it's likely to drop, and it's gonna be manageable. Yeah, I hope you have grabbed some information in this video that is actually going to help you to answer the question that whether or not Ireland is worth migrating to as a registered nurse or midwife. I hope you have grabbed a lot of information from this video. If you found anything good in this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment, and share with other nurses who are also looking at migrating to the Republic of Ireland to continue their practice as a registered nurse or midwife. This is Nurse Abena. I am a Ghanaian nurse living and practicing in the Republic of Ireland, and this is my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share with others, and I'll come your way another time with another interesting video. Until then, it's bye bye for now.